Hello, everyone. Just going to give it about one more minute and we'll get have some fun here, okay? Thank you all for being on time. It means a lot. I appreciate it. Good morning or good afternoon, depending on where you are in the country. My name is Josh Elohim. I'll be your speaker for today regarding addressing the LTC tsunami that's coming. Very, very passionate about this topic here. Just some quick housekeeping for the purpose of this call. Everyone's going to be muted so we can get through this smoothly. Please go ahead and put your questions in the question box there. We will get through everything. We'll answer as many as we possibly can. If for some reason you don't have a quote and apply technology, you can go ahead and click on the chat box there. There is a link for you to go ahead and get signed up there. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get started. Kick off your shoes. Let's have some fun here. Long-term care, a big issue for a lot of people, no question about it. We're not prepared for this, hence the addressing the tsunami that's coming. A lot of people are not prepared for long-term care. So I want to kind of just give a background of it, but I want to just very quickly just show, hopefully you've all seen this software. I want to get to the place where we're going to run this. So you've all seen this already, health class, smoker status, height, weight. It is a personal question. You can skip it. Put your client's date of birth in, and minus us talking, we get rates. So I'm just going to go here at lifetime coverage, and I'm going to stop for a second now. Long-term care. So we have two different types of long-term care. Now we have traditional long-term care, which is the standalone, and we also have long-term care riders. First, I want to talk about traditional long-term care. This was great in the past, very inexpensive. There was built-in, there's inflation built into this. We also had, and we had 25, 30 companies that were offering this. Life was great, it seemed like. Well, fast forward about 10 or 15 years ago, we had all these claims that started to happen, claim after claim after claim. And what the carriers found out is that these products were incorrectly priced. So if I fast forward to today, traditional long-term care now is extremely expensive. You're not locked. That's the first challenge. The second challenge is you're not locked in. So if the carrier is having, too many claims, they can reach out to the state and they can request to have a price increase, and the state may approve it. I don't know if you all heard, but MassMutual had like a 75% price increase a year or two back. Imagine being 80 or 90 years old and having that big of an increase. It could be detrimental to your life. So that's the second biggest challenge with these traditional long-term care. The third problem, to me, is the biggest problem, is that it's use it or lose it. Meaning you could pay premiums for 20, 30 years, never have a long-term care issue, and now all your money is gone. Pretty expensive auto insurance. Would you all agree? So that's traditional long-term care. The other challenge now is we had 25 companies. Now we have about 2 or 3 carriers that still offer traditional long-term care. So the writing's on the wall there is kind of what our challenge is, right? I don't know if you've all heard, but in the state of Washington, long-term care has been such a challenge that they decided to make it mandatory, or else you're going to be taxed on it, just like they did it with other states with health insurance. I think we might have a few agents on the call here from Washington. I'm sure you all know how crazy that was. I've never seen anything like it personally, meaning that we were getting calls from 30 and 40-year-olds asking about long-term care. It got so crazy that we had all of our companies that offered long-term care in Washington pull their products. Again, I've never seen anything like this in the history of our business. We had one agent who has about 1,500 agents out there in Washington. He did 200 applications in one day for long-term care. Mind-blowing. Now, what I've heard is that they're planning on trying to do this in 8 or 9 other states. And there's a very good chance it's going to be in your state. So you want to prepare for this and get ready for this. So again, the life insurance carriers finally got smart and they created something called a long-term care rider. Now, what does this mean now? To keep this very, very simple, whatever my death benefit is on a policy, I add the long-term care rider. It simply gives me a pool of money for long-term care. If there is a long-term care issue, I can draw it out from that death benefit dollar for dollar. So in other words, if I have $1 million policy, I have a long-term care issue, I have a $100,000 issue, my new death benefit is $900,000. Very simple, very straightforward. We have some really cool marketing pieces. This is actually in the chat, but you can use this. So this is in the handouts, just so you know. So it is there for you to click on if you want to have this. You can also reach out to your marketing manager and they can send it to you as well, or reach out to myself or to Yanni, who you've also heard of, can send it to you. All we know life insurance for the most part, even still to this 2022, a lot of your clients only know life insurance as a death benefit. Well, a key word that people use here is, you see this living benefits? What can I get when I'm alive? Discover the living benefits from long-term care. That's a key phrase there, living benefits. I don't have to wait till I die, but I can get that right now. So you think that long-term care insurance might be unnecessary. Well, you might want to think again. Look at the chances of being in a fire, 1 in 1,200. Chances of being in an auto accident, 1 in 240. This blows my mind, but look at the chances of needing a long-term care, 1 in 2. Now, let me ask you a question. You wouldn't go without auto or home insurance. Why are we considering going without long-term care? That's really the question that you have to ask yourself. And a lot of the time, the challenge is that the agent is just not comfortable having the conversation about this. So if I didn't have your attention before, I should have it now, because this is 1 out of every 2 people is going to have an issue here. That's a lot of people. Let me ask you a question, Jerry. How many baby boomers are retiring every single day right now? The answer is around 10,000 a day right now. So think about that. 10,000 baby boomers are retiring every single day. If you can get comfortable with this concept that we're talking about right now, you can be busy for the next 10 or 20 years. And these policies are very nice policies. They're not a $100 term policy. Trust me, these are really good. So how about the estimated cost of long-term care? This is a shocker. Look, in 2013, the average cost of care is about $75,000 a year. Let's fast forward to 2048, where I might potentially need this. Almost $500,000 a year to pay for long-term care. If that doesn't blow your mind, I don't know what will. So what does this mean? A lot of people don't have this. They're not set up for this. So we're in a world of trouble right now. Hence the LTC tsunami that's coming. There is a tsunami coming right now. You can warn your clients about this, but you have to just let them know. So if you look here, this is a marketing piece. We talked about this. How does the rider work? Again, whatever the death benefit is, you add the rider, and it gives you that pool of money for long-term care. You can accelerate that death benefit dollar for dollar if there's a long-term care issue. Any long-term care benefit that comes in from this policy is income tax-free. Any death benefit is tax-free, as well as you can have an option where you have your cake and eat it too, where you can have some cash growing in that policy, which is also a living benefit, right? But the key thing is, no matter what happens, the benefit gets used. Here's a little testimony about Mary, whose parents had some major LTC issues. She didn't want to be a burden on her kids like her parents were. So she takes out a $500,000 policy, adds the rider, and now if she has long-term care issues, she has the money to pay for it. If she doesn't, she can grow some cash in that policy. And then the third thing is she can also has a death benefit. This is a great marketing piece. I would highly recommend taking advantage of it and marketing to your clients. Let's go back here. Okay, so how do I do this, Josh? How do I run this thing here? So if you look here, I have two options. If I want to go with the cash option, which I'm a big fan of, I would go with a protection IUL. If I want to just go with more death benefit focus, I can go universal life. Now, when do I use these two? I'd say the older the age, if the client's maybe 60 or older, I'd probably consider universal life. If they're 60 and under, probably look at this protection IUL. Let's just click on this. So it's going to run that permanent illustration as we speak right now. How do I qualify for this long-term care? It's just like traditional long-term care. And what do I mean by that? Is that you have to have 2 of the 6 ADLs. I can't feed myself, I can't bathe myself, etc. I have a 90-day elimination period, and I can accelerate that death benefit dollar for dollar. That's how simple it is. So we're going to keep this at $1 million to keep it easy. I'm going to scroll down here. I'm going to say with LTC rider. Just make sure that we had an issue in the past where some agents picked critical chronic illness rider. It's not the same as long-term care. It has to say long-term care for it to be long-term care. So I click on with LTC rider. I can get up to 4% of $1 million, so up to $40,000 a month. Now, I don't hear people saying that that's too much money, because now we know how much this could potentially cost, right? Now, I'm not a big fan of paying this forever, like when I'm 60, 70, 80. So I can click on here and change that if I want. I could do a full pay, and I could change it. I'm a big fan of a 10 pay, because people can see 10 years down the road. So just getting that during your income earning ages. And again, so I'm just going to hit this rerun button. Never in the history of our business have you, the agent, been able to pivot so quickly right in front of your client. Did everyone see how fast that was? That's really how simple it is. So let's go ahead and click on this PDF here. We have two options when it comes to the long-term care rider that's true long-term care. First, we have John Hancock, and then we have Nationwide. If you want to have those 3 bells and whistles we talked about, the pool of money for long-term care, the cash value living benefit, and then also the death benefit, I like John Hancock. And I'll give you that visual. So here it is. If you just page down a page or two, you'll see we have a little snapshot of what's going on here. So here we go. By the way, agents who are on this call, hey, Josh, this is great. I'm still not comfortable having this conversation with my client. Is there anything you can do? Absolutely. I've helped agents. I'll get on the call with you / for you for the first couple. I won't get on the application. If you still need me after 3 or 4, we're going to talk though. But I'm willing to get on the call with your client and help out. I understand this is new territory. I'm very comfortable having these conversations. I promise you I don't bite. I don't push anyone. I don't sell anything. I just really educate people and spread the good news. So here's a snapshot of what's going on. We got a male here, 44, preferred. Let me zoom in if you can all see this. Here's my $14,000 10 pay, so I'm paying this sooner. Here's my $1 million pool of money for long-term care / death benefit. And here's my 4% or up to $40,000 a month to pay for long-term care. Here's what it covers. Would you agree? People want to get taken care of in their home. Would you all agree? So would I. So there's some of the basics. I think John Hancock is a very clean way to look at this. It just makes it really simple to kind of read what we're looking at here. Then I'm going to page down. I don't know why my page down button is not working like it used to. No big deal. We're just going to pivot here. All right, so here we go. So here's my illustration. These used to take, 5 or 6 meetings to close this stuff, but because of the ability to be able to pivot and show people, I can do this in 1 or 2 meetings now. We're seeing this happen. And then we can educate people. Here it is. Here's life with long-term care. There's a great sales line you can use. You can ask your clients, do you have the old type of insurance or the new kind? And the first thing you think is, what do you mean? Well, the old type of insurance, again, is geared towards a death benefit. The new kind is geared towards living benefits. What can I get while I'm alive? That's really important to understand. And again, this is a living benefit. So again, here's my $14,000 10 pay. I'm just putting that in for 10 years, right? Here's my $1 million pool of money, which is why we're having this conversation for long-term care. There it is. That's a living benefit, right? So that's my first bell and whistle. Then we have our second bell and whistle, which is our cash growing into policies. Everyone see that there? A living benefit. And then, of course, we also have a death benefit. The beauty of having this conversation with your client when they're younger is have a look at this. So I put in this situation, I put in 140 grand. Does everyone see that? Everybody? So when I scroll down, let's look at this person's retirement age, 65. Does everyone see what I have sitting in cash value for my retirement income? More than what I put in. I never want to use the word free insurance, but do you see where I'm coming from? If this was a 60-year-old, they would not have as much time for this to grow. So this is a no-brainer to start having this conversation with your younger clients. Now, I think business owners is a great person to talk about this with because they can pay for this out of their business. A lot of people don't have disability income set up. Well, if you have two business owners, you can have each one of them get a policy like this. If there's a long-term care issue, they can draw down from their death benefits dollar for dollar. This is just an unspoken about concept that a lot of agents, we need you to get hip to this. It's very simple, very straightforward. And the software allows you to make changes very, very quickly. So that's really, in a nutshell, that's how easy it is to add life with a long-term care rider. This is the most frustrating part for me when your agents when your clients say, hey, this is great, I like this. $1 million, maybe a little too rich, or maybe I need double that. So look at, in the past, you have to wait, they want to make changes. In the past, you have to wait for your wholesaler, maybe, and then wait to get your client back on the phone. It could be a week, and then that person is cooled down now. Watch this. What does 750 look like? I just put in 750, and how about paying that for 15 years instead of 10 years? Again, this is life-changing here, being able to have the conversation if I wanted to via a Zoom. Did everyone see how fast that was? How about this? Okay, great. What about 500? I usually say it's going to be around half, and they say, I still want to see the illustration anyway. You're like, why me, God? Now I just put in 500. Back to my 10-year, for example. I could make changes very, very quickly, very, very easy. Before I go into the application, I want to show you a few more cool things here. So here's another piece. If you're serious about this, which I hope you are, because there's an endless amount of people to have this conversation with right now. John Hancock put together a really good piece. It's called Dare to Compare. And all it really does is allow me to go in here and see who has long-term care riders, who has critical or chronic illness. What's the difference? Is it reimbursement? Is it indemnity? How does the monthly benefit work? And so there's a plethora of things to educate yourself on. How do I accelerate the benefit? But also, this is the biggest thing. How much is this going to cost me? Does everyone see this, how it works, the cost here? So it breaks down each company and all these details for you. This is well worth it to read up on this and learn. It's in the handouts for you, okay? So here it is, and I have it for every carrier. If you notice, there's only a few companies that say true long-term care. We got John Hancock, AXA has a rider. See, these are all enhancements. They're all critical chronic illness. If I scroll down here, Minnesota Life has a rider, and then Nationwide as well. So does everyone see that there? That's a really good piece. I'd highly recommend clicking on the handout, download that, save it to your PDF, and research it. It's going to help you out tremendously. So if you have any questions about that, please let me know. I'm here to help. So I mentioned to you, John Hancock is great for the 3 bells and whistles, the pool of money for long-term care, living benefit, cash value in the policy for retirement income. And you know how I feel about that. You've heard my webinars on tax-free income. So if you have that as well, and the death benefit. So those are 3 great vehicles there. Let's say you're like, you know what, Josh, I don't want to have the conversation about guarantees versus non-guarantees. That's where, to me, Nationwide is going to be a better option because they have a true guaranteed UL. So they just have 2 bells and whistles, the pool of money for long-term care, and then they can have a guaranteed death benefit. That is not this product here, just a heads up. This is still life with long-term. This is still the 3 bells and whistles. I like them Nationwide because they do have a guaranteed UL. So if someone's having an issue with that, I would use that. Perfect. So there we go. Well, this is great, Josh. What's next? I love when you answer all your questions, I usually say, what's next? And we all know what that means, right? I always joke around, I'm like, whoa, 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 slow down here. I'm glad you like John Hancock or Nationwide, but guess what? They want to date you as well. So the only thing you're actually saying yes to is an application and an exam. That's it. So I let the client know that on the spot, makes them feel much more comfortable, but they're ready to move forward. So the other big question that people have is, how much do I put? I think the biggest issue they're going to postpone you on is, how much do I, do? How much do I put into this? So what I tell clients and agents is, hey, you don't have to decide right now. What I recommend is pick the most you might possibly want, and then you can always come down once we get the offer. Does that make sense, everybody? So let's just say hypothetically you were like, the most I might want is this $1 million here. That's the most I might want, right? So what I would do is go to here, pick my company that the client wants to move forward with, and apply. Once we get the offer, we can always bring it down to fit their budget. Does that make sense, everybody? So another joke I'll make is, this is with Life with Long-Term Care, this is a 60, 70-page paper app. So in the past, you pull this bad boy out, your client has a heart attack and dies on the spot, and there goes your case, right? Well, now, does everyone see this continue button right here? I hit continue. It brings me right into the application. There's no more paper anymore. So hopefully you've all seen this, but I will run through this pretty quickly. So you put in your email and phone number. That client receives an email, so technically you could walk away if you want. I just got the email confirmation there. I put in the first part of my address. Does everyone see all the information auto-populates? We pull from the computer's IP address, which is scary and cool at the same time. How many years have you been there? Perfect. Is this person employed? I'll just say yes. We'll do back 9. We'll say sales, company address. Company address, auto-populates. Thank you. Is this person, we do, again, I mentioned to you in the, like halfway through, that we see a lot of business owners using this strategy here. And people think that this is like a sophisticated, thing here, key man, buy, sell, or even Life with Long-Term Care riders. The only difference is the ownership. That's it. If you have a business case, who's going to own the policy? Let's just say yes to make it easy, and we'll say individual. We will do first name, last name. We'll say this is the wife. I can add a contingent beneficiary to back up the primary here. Income, assets, liabilities, put in the social, state, driver's license. Do you have any existing life insurance? If yes, I would just add the policy right here. Hopefully you've all seen this, which is what I'm going through pretty quickly. You know about our portal where you can actually pull up a medical APSs right here on the spot. We've all dealt with those nightmares. I pick my facility, type it in up here. Let's just say it was UCLA, username, password. We can pull those medical records instantaneously right on the spot. I don't know it, I can reset it, or I forgot it, create one. Send a text message on your own free time. We're on to the medical questions. I picked Nationwide because I just have a few questions. Full transparency. I can actually bind coverage here if they'll allow me to, or at least put in my billing information, or just say no. We all have had those nightmare, send up those exams can be truly a nightmare based on whatever zip code you put in across the country. How about a live calendar from exam 1, real times to book your exam? I pick my date, pick my time, make sure this is good to go, the right address. I hit next. We just booked the exam. It was that simple. Client gets a calendar invite right to the calendar, so they don't forget about it, as well as the examiner calls the client the day before. So last step here, I can sign via email, or if I'm not using Zoom, or I just hit sign now. Or your client's doing this 100% by themselves, they would also hit sign now. Or we get past this pandemic and you can meet your clients face to face, you would also hit sign now. And just like that, all the information is auto-populated in the DocuSign. Bada bing, bada boom, a fully completed 60, 70-page paper application. Sorry it took so long. I can't shake this New York sarcasm no matter what I do. You all know how DocuSign works, correct? Adopt your signature, and then I just point and click. You will get so many referrals because a lot of clients are dreading this process, and you just brought them through it in 5, maybe 10 minutes. Welcome to the future where life insurance is heading. We're not geniuses here. We heard the cries of the people, all your frustrations, the things you like, the things you don't like. And we did this crazy thing where we actually listened. I know it's crazy, but we actually listen to people. So thank you for helping us to get to what you're seeing right now. We also have not scratched the surface where we're heading to. We're really excited about the new opportunities that are coming here. So I want to show you a way to market this. You obviously can use I sent to you, there's those 2 marketing pieces, right? I hope you grab these from the chat there. You can grab those, and then from the attachments, and then these are 2 marketing pieces you can use. And then also, let's go back to our boss system. You can go to marketing and then templates. Look, we've made a template just for long-term care. Does everyone see this? There it is. So I have 2 options. I can manually plug it up to 100 emails at a time if I don't have an email service, and I hit submit. It's that simple. If I do have an email service, I can go to HTML, copy, and then just copy this campaign into my MailChimp or my Constant Contact. I can send it out from there. Please, I'm begging you, help your clients and educate them on this challenge here, right? So do you have to sell anything? No, you just have to educate people. And when you educate them and you give them the information they need, typically they end up buying. Perfect. So that's what I have for today. Again, I really appreciate everyone getting on the call here. I do want to have some questions answered here, but do me a favor, just put your questions in the chat box here. If you don't have our software, you can sign up there as well. And I'm looking forward to helping every single one of you. Hey, put me to the test. Go into your boss system. You can book a meeting right here with me. I want to have 5 meetings this week on me meeting with one of your business owner clients, Josh meeting with one of your high net worth clients who does not have long-term care. If your clients already have life insurance, that's okay. They might have a standalone long-term care policy as well. That's okay. Let's have the conversation and see if the juice is worth the squeeze to put these together. Let's do a policy review. So there's a lot of we have to start answering questions, okay? Again, I really appreciate your time. Thank you. I like to keep this around 30 minutes. Please ask your questions. We'll go through those questions and let's see if we can start selling some more long-term care rider policies. Appreciate all of you and everyone have a blessed day. I'll wait for those questions to come in now. And here they come. Good questions. So someone said, can we add the rider to a term policy? It does have to be a permanent policy for a true long-term care rider. We do have products like Transamerica has a product that's for term where you can get living benefits, but that's not long-term care. That is critical chronic illness. So to kind of answer your question, we do have, I know we're all visual here, right? But we do have policies. So let me just show you very quickly. If I wanted to do term, and again, I'm only a fan of this if you can't do what I just showed to you. So this is how long it takes minus us talking. So I can go with a 20-year term here. And if you want to have this for term, Transamerica, here it is. You see it's a lot more expensive, but this policy does have living benefits. Does everyone see that right there? So that's where you can get it for term insurance if you wanted to. Great question, Amanda. All right, more questions here. Someone said, do you need a health license to sell this? You can. This is your life insurance license. You do need to have an 8-hour LTC course, which is extremely easy. You go to WebCE, look up 8-hour LTC course. Every 2 years, it's not a problem. I just did mine recently. So you do have to have the LTC course, just a heads up, okay? Perfect. More questions? Any other questions? Who's going to be the first to sell a policy here? If you need my help, there's no shame here. Don't be embarrassed. Don't be shy. Put me to the test. So someone said, what's the typical commission on these cases? Well, it's very lovely. Why don't we just look here in this case that we did? Here's $1 million policy, right? And this is a 10-pay. So let's look. All the commission is right here posted. So you'll get about 80% of this number right here, give or take. That's your target premium. So give or take, you'll probably get $7 or $8 grand of commission in this case here. I've seen much bigger cases than this. Another sales strategy is that we see a lot of 1035. So if your client already has a whole life policy, for example, or has a policy with cash value, this is a great story to tell where you can move that money over from one policy to another. You can 1035. It's like real estate. You have a 1031, right? So it's the same concept. I'm moving that money over so I don't have to pay taxes on it. I move that into and I can add a long-term care rider. I've had several situations where the whole life policy is so expensive, you can get, for the same premium, you can get a lot more death benefit and add the rider. And then I can also, I've seen situations where you don't have to pay any additional premium and you have a long-term care rider. So do me a favor, look through your book of business and ask your clients, what do you currently have right now? Once you get that information, let's talk. I'm here every step of the way to help you out, okay? That was a great question. Any other questions? Use me while I'm here. I'm going to throw this out here because I want to see if anyone's going to respond. I will pay $100 cash for the first person that books the meeting and we get the application in for a policy. So I'll put that out there right now. If you book a meeting with me, with one of your clients, if we get the application in, I'll pay out $100 out of my own pocket. Let's see if who's listening here and who's serious. I'm pretty confident that if we get the right person on the phone here, we're going to make some things happen, okay? I'll keep this to the end of the week, so it'll be till Friday, but if I was you, I would jump right. Any kind of incentive gets me excited. So we'll do $100 to the first person that books a meeting and we get an application from it. All right. Thank you so much again for all your time. Hold on, there's another question here. Oh, Jessica, that's rich. Can you wait 8 hours so I can do my LTC course? The LTC course takes about 20 minutes. You can book the meeting now. Don't tell anyone I said so, but you could book the meeting now, get your 8-hour course done, and if you get the meeting set up, I'll still honor that. But you have to book it on my calendar. So it also we have to get the application in. Just a heads up, okay? I like this. I got people on the edge of their chairs. This is great. Any other questions, please? Last minute questions. You go to webce.com and then just type in 8-hour course there. Okay, Jessica? Going once, going twice. Sold. Thank you all. I really appreciate your time. Thank you. I know everyone's busy, so I really do appreciate you taking the time to listen in. Let's see if we can help people change some lives here. And if that LTC, if they make that law in our state, trust me, you'll be very happy that you went ahead and started conversating about these policies. Talk to you all soon. Have a blessed day.